If you're a fan of Pokemon Red and AI, something really cool just happened. GPT-5 just finished Pokemon Red in 6,470 steps in roughly just 7 days. This is roughly a third of the time it took O3, which was 18,000 steps and took roughly 15 days. This was all done on a Twitch channel called GPT Plays Pokemon, where they had live streamed the entire run. They created a site that tracked their progress. So here you could see their timeline. The purple is GPT-5 and the pink is O3. So this is showing how many steps it took to finish up getting through the game versus O3. And you could see specific highlights of GPT-5 versus O3. Here's some of the game stats. What was interesting is basically GPT-5 took a strategy of just leveling up Charizard as much as possible and brute forcing the game that way. Some of the interesting things, the creator, Clad here, gave some interesting notes as to why he believes GPT-5 did so much better than O3. The first one was GPT-5 hallucinates far less than O3. This is the main reason for the speed increase. GPT-5 has better spatial reasoning. O3 often tried to brute force through walls and had a hard time navigating complex areas. GPT-5 can plan long input sequences with few mistakes, which saves a lot of time. GPT-5 is better at planning its own objectives and following them, which was a big highlight that OpenAI tried to highlight in their demos, but I think this, using Pokemon Red as that reasoning, shows this off so much better. Right now, they're trying to complete Pokemon Crystal, so if you're interested, you could go check out that, both their live stream and on this website that they have that's summarizing each of the steps. So a little on how they put this together. First, everything is run within an emulator, obviously. Every step that they needed to take, the emulator or their program would pass a screenshot to GPT-5 along with a block of text tagging different areas and the map, giving highlights like how much money they have and the badges, and if they were in a battle, the battle state, passing that over to GPT-5 to process. GPT-5 would take all this information and then GPT-5 would give out specific instructions based off of the input that it got and gave it as output. Now, some of these, and we should clarify, when we say steps, one step is just one call from the emulator to GPT-5. GPT-5 could be outputting several steps all at the same time. So it could say walk 12 feet to the right, or 12 in-game steps to the right or down or up. So it doesn't necessarily mean that this was only 6,470 in-game steps. It most likely was a lot more than that. One of the things that they highlighted that was also really good was the way they would process memory. So every 100 turns, they would have the model summarize its recent actions and update all of its ongoing goals. And every 1,000 turns, it would do even more of a summary. So summarize all of the older summaries, compress them, so that way there's a lot less that has to get shoved into the model at any given time. They also created a map system for it, so that way it wouldn't get lost as much. It used the same system for O3, but just to help guide it along. So this was their steps that they took to make sure that the model would be successful. And obviously both GPT-5 and O3 successfully completed the game, but it's more about just the efficiency. And GPT-5 has definitely shown that it can be much more efficient than O3 when completing Pokemon Red.